name's Anthony Nesbit. Former U.S. Army General Norman Schwarzkopf once said, "The truth of the matter is that you know the right thing to do. The hard part is doing it." I'm going to share a personal experience with you all about how I learned this lesson. It started out on a normal day. I was about 11 years old, and I was playing outside with one of my neighbor friends. We were just riding our bikes around, having a good time. And then all of a sudden, I noticed that one of my neighbors, his dog jumped over the fence and started running down the street. And we had a decision to make. Do we just ignore it and assume that someone else would, take care of it? Or do we take action and do the right thing and go get him ourselves and bring him back? So I went inside my house and got a leash. It's actually this leash. We still use it to this day. It's a little bit frayed. You'll see why. And we got back on our bikes and rode off to go find the dog. After a few minutes, we were looking around and we found him in one of the nearby parks in our neighborhood. So we chased him down and hooked him up on the leash. Luckily, he was wearing his collar. And then we were faced with a problem we didn't originally think of. How are we going to get this dog back to his owner's house, considering we rode our bikes there, and it was a fair ways away? And this was a pretty big dog. It was a boxer, a full-size boxer. So after we hooked him up, I decided it was too far to just walk him and the bike back. So I decided that I would ride my bike back along with walking this dog back. I quickly learned that this was, I got in way over my head in that decision. He immediately started bolting down the street and dragged me off my bike and dragged me way down across the street. I didn't want to let go at first. I'm not sure if it was because I was too panicked in the situation to even think about it, or because I felt the responsibility for, if this dog just went off again, we probably wouldn't be able to go get him back afterwards. So I got pretty bad road rash from that. And my friend went off and got the dog and brought him back home, while he got my mom and she helped me back home. When he returned the dog, apparently the owner just kind of took the dog back in and didn't even give him any thanks. So that was kind of disappointing to me once I found out about that. I was pretty let down, but I still kind of felt good about myself, because who knows what might have happened if we had just let the dog go and assumed someone else would take care of it. There was an overall sense of a job well done, and that we actually took action instead of assuming that someone else would. I learned a couple things that day. It is pretty hard to ride a bike while walking a giant dog down the street, and feeling good about doing the right thing doesn't necessarily numb the physical pain immediately, but it's still worth it in the end, and I wouldn't change anything I did that day. So yeah, that's my personal experience, and I wouldn't change it for the world. That's it. Thank you.